Today we'll lay the foundation of creating some of the files that we might need or that we will need for Stripe. Now the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go over to your terminal and do Rails generate migration, or how do you have that, and then I want you to generate create Stripe transactions. You press enter. And this would be the last migration that we're going to do in this series. So, hooray. Now, I want you to flip over to that file that we just created, Stripe create transactions, and I want you to add in the following table. So, create change. So what I want to add in is I want to add in TRX order, T belongs to TRX order, TXN type currency, the total amount, the tax amount, notification parameters, TXN ID, status description, and timestamps, which is automatic. I'm not going to explain them here because when we actually go through our, our example or our demo of using Stripe, we're able to see the information that will be logged into this table. Other than that, that's all we want to do here, so close that. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to go to your initializers, which is in your config, if I can find that file. And what I want you to do here is I want you to create a new file. So go to new file, and what I want you to do put here is I want you to put rails.configuration.stripe is equal to open curly braces, publishable key, env stripe publishable key, secret key, env stripe secret key. And this should all be in your application.yaml file with the keys that you have gotten from Stripe when you registered with them. And you also add on line 6 stripe.api key equals rails configuration.stripe secret key. So all this stuff right now is just configuration, so I won't really explain much about them because there really isn't much to explain. But you'll just save this as stripe.rb. Okay, so we're done here. Let's close this file. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to go to your root folder, your app folder. Let's just close all these assets. I want you to create a new folder, and this folder would be called services. And this is where all your services would be housed. Now we're going to have only one file in the services, so let's just go to our services folder, new file, and what I want to do is I want to save this as stripe underscore managed.rb, and I'm just going to copy and paste code in here. So this code is pretty much a template. Well, it's a template. It's an out of the box template that you can use right away. Pretty much all I changed here is what is occurring in create accounts. So you could see that we're actually checking if there's an account, then we do an org person, update attributes, and we're gonna put in all these key value pairs. And for our account here, we do Stripe account create. That's why we're using their emails, their IPs, and because Stripe, when I was using it, is in beta, I don't know where it is now. We only allowed US and Canada, so the countries that are allowed right now are US and Canada. So that is pretty much it for this file. Um, so if you go over to Stripe and you Googled for examples and you did a Command F and looked for Rails, these are all the examples that I've actually used to set up Stripe Connect in Rails. Pretty useful. I highly suggest reading it yourself to get a good grasp of it because I won't be really going in depth with doing all these minor configurations. Other than that, save this file and close it. Okay. Okay, so the next thing I want us to do is I want us to head over to our sidebar.html.erb, and go to this payment settings on line 10, link to payment settings. And I want you to change this hash to org underscore people underscore stripes settings underscore path. And because we added that to our sidebar, we need to add that to our routes as well. So let's just flip over to our routes, and we could actually close this sidebar.html.erb. And over here in our routes, what I want us to do is I want us to do a post or a get, and this will get our stripe settings. So this will lead us to a page called stripe settings, and it will allow our COO to connect their company's bank account to Project Neo's platform, so we could transfer money to their bank account at regular intervals. Okay, so that's great. The next thing I wanted to do is we also want to generate a controller. So Rails generate controller, and this controller we'll call it stripe. So let's just do that. Okay, so we generated a stripe controller, and there's some things that we don't need. So we can go over there and delete them. So let's just make this smaller and look at the files that we need to delete. So the things we need to delete first is we could go to our views, our stripe folder here. We don't really need a stripe folder, so we delete that folder. Okay, in our spec, our testing, we're not testing, so we could delete that too. Stripe controller, delete that file. And what else do we have? The helper. With regards to the helper, we don't really need the helper either, so let's just find our helper, stripe helper, and let's delete that file. And our spec helper, which is inspect helpers, we don't need this file either, so we delete that. Our assets, we don't need our assets either, so let's just go to our JavaScript, delete the stripe coffee because we don't need it, and we'll go to our style sheets, we'll delete the CSS there because we don't need it. Okay, so now that we have that done, all we should have is our stripe controller. Let's navigate over there and see what we need done. So in our stripe controller, what we need to do is it is our place where we create a managed stripe account for yourself. So it only works on the currently logged in user, and we could see our app services stripe manage.rb for more details. So this is again something that I've just picked off from one of the examples provided by Stripe in their documentation. So it's really nothing new. You can look over in the documentation to really figure out what's going on. But we're going to services stripe manage to create a new person, and over here we call create account. And again, you can find that over at stripe manage. So we're calling this function, and we're passing in 3 parameters like they requested. So that's done. So if we successfully created the account, then it'll say manage stripe account created. Otherwise, it'll just return an error saying that we're unable to create the stripe account, and then we'll redirect to the stripe settings path. So that's done. And I think that we've managed to get all the foundation work done, but I'm not 100% sure because I haven't worked with Stripe for a while. So if we run into any troubles, then we'll debug it and we'll figure it out to make it work. Other than that, I want us to go to our org people controller, and I want you to leave with us defining another function. And this is going to be defined as stripe settings because remember, we defined that in our route, so we need it in our controller. So what this does is it connects the company to a bank account in their country, and it's only accessible by the COO. So that's where I want us to leave off. I will see you again in the next video. Please rate, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions, then you can leave them in the comment box and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.